And you don't stop. You
New
won't.
Jay-Z, featuring Ja Rule and Ja Rule. Gangsta shit.
Illuminati.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we got a sick build. This is a 2008. I honestly didn't even plan on filming this video. It kind of just like was a sporadic thing yesterday. I was like, F it, we haven't done it ever on this channel, so why don't we film it? I stripped this thing down the other day. This is a customer restoration, right? Came in within like 10 hours. We had the chassis torn down completely. I mean, every seal out of every caliper, motor completely apart, dropped off at powder coat. Actually, no, I'm lying. Had to get some things fabricated, then dropped it off at powder coat, completely rebuilt the engine, and now we're at a point where we can start assembling this. So this was a Banshee that I actually won a couple months ago, or not even a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, right? I won this Banshee, and then which I did a giveaway with. The person that won it from me then sold it back to the person that I won it from, and then that person sold it to the customer, which dropped it off to me for a full restoration. Now, originally this person reached out on some like, I want to powder coat the A-arms, the swing arm, the carrier, just clean it up a little bit. But I was telling him like, yo, I had it in my possession. You know, I've seen the Banshee. It's got touch-up paint everywhere. It doesn't make sense to freshen up a couple little parts. It's a 2008. You're gonna do it right or don't do it at all. Matter of fact, I don't want to do no half-ass builds, so it's either we're doing everything or I'm not doing anything. And then he agreed to it, dropped me off the Banshee, and like I said, the same day that it was dropped off, it was stripped down. We didn't film any of that because I didn't plan on, you know, filming a video. Right here to the left of me is a freshly powder-coated chassis. Every single silver piece is alien silver. It's a prismatic color. A lot of people ask about that, and I filmed so many videos, but still, people f***ing always ask that. Alien silver. You got the chassis, the front bumper, the rear grab bar, handlebar. We got the heel guards, carrier, bunch of semi-gloss black parts, the spindles, all the coils for the suspension, which we're going to be using brand new front suspension, which you can only get white, so we'll swap out for the semi-gloss black. And then we have a fully rebuilt rear OEM suspension. Every piece of hardware here in front of me is OEM. People think that I'm using like Chinese hardware because I see people in like Facebook group chats, all these fucking old heads that think they know everything. But this is all OEM hardware that I bring back to life. Pretty much every single bolt gets finished and looks brand new. And this batch specifically came out so good that I just got so motivated once I was going through the bag. I was like, let me just organize the car. That way when it comes to, you know, reassembling the Banshee, it's just really easy. I just pick and pull. Now there's a bag underneath this that has a bunch of like random miscellaneous washers and nuts. Once we need those, that's when I'll start going through that. So everything came out really nice. And then underneath this cart is a bunch of brand new OEM parts, like so much money in brand new OEM parts. The idea with this build is like recreate an OEM 2008, put a little bit of spice on it, make it a little bit better than it comes out, you know, the factory. We're gonna be doing an exhaust system, upgraded Mishimoto rad, a couple little things here and there. The motor is already built. When we got this Banshee, we disassembled the motor. I was already vapor honing the cases, the hubs, any aluminum parts that I possibly can because I was trying to get this done literally in a week's time frame. But we had a couple little setbacks and, you know, we're about a week and a half in, but this customer will have this Banshee within like the next 4 days. So to the right of me is also more OEM parts, brand new clutch perch, all new OEM 2008 plastics in which we had to get from Puerto Rico. Really hard to get this stuff in America. You know, they only made the Banshees 2008 and up in like Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Australia, so on and so forth. In America, it stopped at 2006. Underneath these plastics is a bunch of parts that came off of the Banshee in which I thought were fine to reuse, you know, somewhat clean. When I won the Banshee, I ended up putting like 1,500 bucks into it instantly because there were some things that I didn't like. And that's why I told him, you know, we need to do the full restoration. It's the right way to do it. And then on the bottom is that motor in which I completely rebuilt. It's a bone stock motor. It is bored out to a 65. It's got Wiseco forged pistons and the stock OEM crank. The crank that was in the motor was super clean. That being said, we're gonna dive right into it. The Banshee Garage 2008 OEM Yamaha Banshee build. So when you're starting with a frame build like this, there's a couple things that you're gonna need, and I don't think I've ever mentioned this in previous videos, but a 10, a 12, a 14, 17, 22, also a 5mm Allen key and a 6mm Allen key as well. Figured I'd throw that out there. If you're thinking about doing something like this and you're not getting it done at Banshee Garage, you're doing it at home, keep those things in mind. You will need those tools, but for the most part, the Banshee is the same bolts all around. Normally I don't have them saran wrap the frame because it goes inside of a van, but I recently got a new truck and it was in the bed, so God forbid it, you know, rolled over. I just wanted to have that nice little security, that insurance. Another thing to note, especially if you're doing something like this, how I am on like a little table cart, you want the right side of the ATV open. That way you can get the motor in. So the foot brake pedal side, that's the side that you're putting the engine through. So if you have the handle right here, it's super annoying to get that engine in there. So I normally have the Banshee swapped so that it would be facing that way with how the cart's set up right now. If you're building it by yourself and you start assembling the whole chassis, it's gonna get heavy really quick, be hard to pick up by yourself. So you wanna do that first thing first. If you don't have a tap set, just go to your local Harbor Freight. That's probably the easiest. This is not an ad for Harbor Freight, in which I would absolutely love to work with them because you can't beat it for the price point. But like I was saying before, you want a M610, M8125, and then an M10125. It's very tedious doing this shit. Honestly, it'll save you because the last thing you want to be doing on a freshly powder coated build is extracting bolts. So if you could avoid that at any cost, just tap it. These two up front here, these upper plastic mounts for the gas tank cover, these are the only two that are M508. The rest of them are M610, meaning all the gas tank bolts, all these rear fender bolts, the CDI, the regulator, the air box, all M610.
Understand why y'all niggas is mad at me, sitting around like, damn, that could be me.
Before I had this Banshee powder coated, there was a couple of things that we needed to fix. I want to point these couple of things out because you might be in a situation where you should definitely do this before spending money on powder coat because you're really going to regret it. Number one, the foot peg bolts on the Banshees, they get ovalized. Sometimes you could literally push an M10 through there. The situation with this one was we actually had a bolt that snapped in there while we were disassembling it. It was so fucking rusted and corroded. We ended up cutting the nub off and then just welding a new one. Lastly, the gas tank was like pinched inside of here, and I'll put up a couple of photos so you guys can understand what I mean. If a Banshee was ever rolled or something, chances are the steering stem smushes against the gas tank, making it really hard to get out. Not only does it make it hard to get the gas tank out, but your gas tank plastics will never align with these holes. So in order to fix that, what you're gonna wanna do is take it to a shop that does some sort of fabrication. And what we did is we just slid it right here, bent it forward a little bit, and then welded it back up. These are the things that you wanna look out for before you send your ATV in for refinishing, powder coating, or paint. Then at that point, you're wasting money and backtracking. And I learned all this stuff the hard way. You know, I'm no professional by any means. Every time I build a Banshee, I just get better and better. So just want to give a little bit of knowledge to you guys so you can avoid any problems moving forward. So now that we have the whole Banshee ran through with a tap, what we're gonna start doing is throwing all these brand new pieces onto it. We'll work our way from the front to the rear. Nah, that probably won't happen. I'll just be all over the place. Austin knows I'll be working on the steering stem and somehow I'm putting a CDI in the back. Who knows? It's gonna be all over the place, but we're putting it together.
Who could flip a record company from a half a key? Then drop a gold album, do the math with me, turn right around and go platinum. That would be, fuck it, I lost count, why don't you tell me the amount? Since you gossip like groupies, know this please. I never go broke, my name got 2 G's, J-I, 2 G-A. I flip that, pawn the platinum and be on the next day. I be right there when your mics blow out. I was there.
Look at this, it's like a fucking pack-a-punch machine in Call of Duty. Voila! I gotta buy more of these before the people get them all.
This is for the black radio, niggas that play CeeLo, always on the D-Lo, with dreams of a kilo. Nice and Jordan hit the jump on Craig Elo. Show a stranger love, hate on a brother we know. A lot of niggas got killed because of their ego. Either over a bitch or a couple of C-notes. It's rough in the G-H-E-T-T-O. Gotta learn how to hear no evil and see no. I spit nothing but acid like amino. Still good for your skin though, like a vino. Honeys be amazed how my Hershey kiss ring glow. I miss being with my grandmother playing bingo. Whole album is crack, not just the singles. It's garbage if you put it on your tongue and it's brand new. In the hood, nigga, I let the thing go. Bullets gon' burn, but the razor gon' sting though. Do this for niggas in Kaksaki in the swing, yo. Got a team out in Louisville like Patino. Kill you in 88 minutes like Pacino. Next show me how to play dominoes in Pekino. 21 nigga, I'm robbing all the casinos. Name ring bells from Rikers Island to Chino. Little niggas with choppers hopping out the Camino. Whoever didn't get hit, evacuated the scene, yo. You know that I don't fuck around, let your team know. Or one day when you're out of town, I'll let your queen know. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, yo. Send you to the hospital first, then your spleen, yo. I ain't trying to get funny money, I need mean dough. Niggas can't fuck with the guard, come clean, yo. I shit on niggas' dreams, yo. Kiss my ass, my ass.
This is for the black eye pit eye niggas who still kid off. Those up north in the yard on the bid off. Whoever sold 50 of weed and they cigar couldn't accept when the Jets got bread fit off. True New Yorker need money like A. Riddoff. Get out of your place in your face and get skid off. Used to blow weed with big out of the jit off. Man could get plucked like a string on the guitar. You could be this year's bird and get off. If I'm on the road, it's me busy and hit hard. Real ironic that I get busy and hit hard. Hop in the big ass van and drop fizz off. Real hood niggas, so never call me a stizzard. More like the son of the moon, that's the gizzards. Can't understand tight jeans and big skid offs. Niggas look halfway gay, mad bizarre. Bark shot daily and up in the juice bizarre. Nice on the mic like Coogee Kane and Izzard. 4-4 bulldog knocking a nigga rib off. 12 gauge shotgun tearing a nigga little. Kidnap a girlfriend, drop her the nigga kid off. Connect with the brick.
So we've gotten really far with this build. She's about like 85% done. There's a couple little things in which we still need to do. We're gonna be doing that stuff today. Originally, I wanted to use a DMC exhaust system. 2-to-1. When it comes down to it, technically it's like still a separate exhaust because even when it goes to the rear silencer, they're separated. But anyways, it hasn't been working out. I've been trying to buy them for months. Seems like they have a new chromer, so everything's just been pushed back. And every time I reach out, it's just push back, push back, push back. I feel bad because that's what the customer wanted. But I had an Empire exhaust system and I asked him if he wanted to use that and he was down. This is very similar to the Toomey T5 exhaust system, which Toomey is no longer a company. I come to find that out pretty recently too. You know, for a while, everything was out of stock on their website. You know, I tried reaching out in multiple different ways, got no response, and then I've seen something in like a Facebook group. So they're done. Empire Industries makes a similar exhaust system. Honestly, I think the silencer is a lot nicer. The only thing I will say is like the chrome plating is not as nice. This is probably like a 1-stage or even maybe it's a nickel plating. I'm not too sure. You don't see your reflection. It's very, very blurry compared to like the T5s are like a 3-stage chrome and they're super shiny. But otherwise, this exhaust system is great. I've used it on multiple builds and that's why I offered to use it on this build. And since he was down, we're gonna slap it on today, start the bike for the first time, put all the fluids in it. The only thing that I'm missing right now is the front suspension, in which I overnighted, so it'll be here today, but I still have to swap out the coils because you can only buy them in white. I have these powder-coated semi-gloss black coils that we'll put on there. Once we have the exhaust system on, the bike tuned, also the rear suspension on, we'll put the airbox system on, put the rear plastic on, even put the front plastic. Honestly, we'll have this bike completely assembled today. The carbs I had vapor honed originally when I won the bike, so they're still clean. I might vapor hone them again. I'm not too sure. Definitely want to go through them to make sure it's the correct jetting for this exhaust system, and which it probably is because that bike originally had T5s, but she's coming along. She looks great.
When the gas refill, your cash get pilled, and that's the deal. Fuck the bitch ass and switch fast niggas that lack the real. When the slugs burst, G-Rap be aiming at your mug first. Niggas is bloodthirst, we see who get plugged worse. We dug earth to place you, put the nickel bladers to your facial. Bullets ain't racial, kid, they only hate you. My nine seem like it's a time machine, BC date you. Jacking you more than Ripper, my fifth's an organ shifter. The human organism lifter, you'll be hearing organs if you're leaving orphans. If you let these floors hit you with a law split you, a 4-pitcher.
Best smelling shit. When you open this shit, when you got your fucking oil, before you put it in there, just give it a nice whiff so you can understand what I'm talking about when we're filming these videos. Like a common thing with the fucking Banshees is the bushings on the engine mount will kind of just disintegrate like that. What I need to do is cut that like a little slit and push it out. But I ain't really got time for that. So what I'm gonna do instead is this little bottom rail. I have a bunch of them separated on the shelf over here. So we're gonna replace this and get this engine mount on.
When the gas fits, some niggas get blown off the atlas. The half is unsolved mystery. Reenactments, get practice. What you lack is you think like the average. Jake's dumbfounded, leaving crime scenes get handled. Nothing but cannons got conspicuous. Like a laminator branded with the serial scratch. Bad apple out of the bag. Done it maybe like that. If I could push back the clock, probably leave it like that. Draw love for my niggas, G.O.D. Ty, Nitty, and Twin is not here. Plus my kin, Killer be forever with me. Quick to set it with me. Enter QB, they show love throughout the years with me. You got guns, we got guns, the serious ones. Leave foul powder stuck in your lungs. We come from where niggas look out for they dun-duns. Love never disrespect, hit niggas with redirect.
For street niggas living with their lives on the line.
For young guns coming up during these times.
For police who find drugs letting niggas slide.
For niggas out slinging like 4 in the night.
For your man's not snitching when the pressure is tight.
For pistols that don't jam when it's time to strike.
What I gotta do now is put the air box on it, take the aftermarket filter, put together the new OEM air filter, cage, backing plate. We're good to go. Look, it's so cold in here that you can see the smoke coming out of my mouth. We had a little bit of a coolant leak. That's just my fault. Trying to find out where it was, and then I realized that it was just leaking out of this. I pulled it down a little bit, tightened the clamp, and it's good to go now. One thing that really sucks, because now I have to take the whole right side apart. This motor was repaired in the past. Where they welded it, not necessarily the casing itself, but where they cover mates to the case it's leaking oil from. So what I'm gonna have to do is drain all the new oil, all the new coolant, take the cover off, put a new gasket. I'll do that off camera, so I'll do that later on today.
I don't know how the previous owner ended up breaking the case right here where my finger is. Like, that's such a random spot. They had to like drop the fucking block or something. And this is a brand new OEM case. And the reason that I know that is because when I won it, he specifically told me like they fucking broke the corner of the block when the chain snaps off and makes that chain whack, what Banshees are known for, chain whack. Once I was vapor honing it, doing this whole build, that's when I noticed that the block was repaired. It's leaking oil from not the welds, but like I said, where it mates to the clutch cover. So I'm just gonna put a ton of sealant in that spot. Hopefully that does the trick. I ain't trying to rip this shit out. You know what I'm saying?
4-4 nickel plate shiny as fuck, yo. I like the rubber grip cause it hurt when the gun blow. Black mask on outside of your condo. I used to move the rock and dish it off like Rondo. Poppy on the block always yelling behind though. I skate on these niggas like I'm out in Toronto. Blacked out, hit me Challenger and it sit low. I told you I'm the motherfucking man from the get-go. I know a lot of things and I know what I don't know. Popo, these niggas be rapping on so-so, singing on these records like Casey and JoJo. Skinny jean wearing niggas shopping at Soho. Loco, he'll make me go load the Trey Ocho. These little niggas out here is sweeter than Coco. Depressing, recession got a nigga with no dough. Been all around the world, ho, I told you I'm global. I can't walk around without them taking my photo. I move on these niggas like I'm sparring with Koto. Big dog, you just a little pup like Toto. Stop lying, nigga, from my trunk you might go. All these niggas here softer than micro. She a short thing, nigga, y'all niggas might blow. Lost a little weight on them, but no lipo. Hit you with the hatchet, motherfucker, I'm Michael Myers. Get the pliers, pull teeth out. Ask these niggas what the beef bout.
Get it in, hit him in the chin, hit him size of the.
So we got the ATV all buttoned up. Yesterday, we were waiting on the suspension, which came towards later in the day. And then I had the coil swap because it was just like an off-white, and I made them semi-gloss black. I also broke my rivet gun when I was putting on the plastics yesterday, so I was only able to get one rivet in. I went and bought a new one, finished, putting all the plastics on. And like I mentioned earlier, there was a leak on the clutch cover side. Right here underneath the water pump, I noticed that it was leaking red transmission fluid on the ground. The engine's been done for about a week, and I just put the fluids in yesterday, so that was a bummer because you gotta take all the oil out, all the coolant out, makes a fucking mess. New gasket, take off the heel guard, the foot brakes. It's not fun, but we situated that first thing this morning and she's not leaking anymore. I just put, silicone all around the mating surface, but specifically in that area, just a little bit more. Seems to be good and hasn't leaked at all in the hour that it's been sealed. I even, ran it for a little bit and it hasn't leaked. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the airstrip in which we test all the ATVs and make sure that there's absolutely no problems. Once we are done with that, we'll come back here, shoot all the showroom stuff that you guys see at the end of the videos, and then she's going to her new home. Anything that we gotta fix or adjust, we come back here, we do it, and then we shoot all the photos, and she's gone. Going to the airstrip.
Shit is real on the motherfucking hill guard. Times is hard, bitch, you blur, kid, I can't see far. Thinking will I be the next nigga deceased? Over some bullshit beef, I pack heat. Son, it's 96 and I ain't going out like that. Never roll a dolo cause my crew got my back and it's a fact. Niggas don't know how to act till I cop back, react, leave them laying on their back. Sometimes I try to maintain and chill. Stop my brain for thinking, restraint for grabbing my steel. I'm stressed out, trying to live right on the wrong route. Thinking the ways to get looted large.
Alright, there's one thing that I definitely don't miss, and that's coming out here when it's fucking freezing cold, so we're gonna make this short and sweet. Banshee completed. We're testing it for the first time right now. Came out awesome. I already sent the customer a bunch of videos. He's super stoked. We're gonna ride it up and down a couple of times, but before we do that, I'm gonna start it so that way you guys can get a nice, good visual and audio of this exhaust system. Real healthy, no lag in throttle response at all. Clutch is slipping a little bit, high RPMs and then grabbing. You hear that? You didn't hear that when I was going? Am I fucking crazy? This shit is definitely slipping a little bit. Maybe I gotta just ride it. I got slack up here, so I don't know why. It feels like it's slipping though. As you probably heard when we were at the airstrip, I was talking about the clutches slipping. Instantly felt that on the first ride. High RPMs, not putting it down to the tire. The Banshee screaming and I'm not really going anywhere. Now, when I'm building these motors, I pretty much set them up so I don't really have to do many adjustments. Like I've done this so many times. That was super off to me because I put a brand new billet basket, I put brand new clutches. So when I got back to the shop, took the clutch cover off. I'm checking the clutch adjustment, everything is fine. One thing that I didn't like was that the pancake bearing didn't really have much slack. I took the pressure plate off and I realized it was like almost like grinded down and it's got this ledge where it drops off. And then I'm looking at the inner hub basket and it's the same thing. I must have not realized this when I was putting it back. That was the problem in which was causing the clutches to slip. Now I also had OEM springs because it's just a lot softer on the clutch. You don't have to like yank the fucking thing in. I ended up putting the heavy duty springs in as well. So I think the combination of all these things were causing the clutch to slip. You heard in the video, I mean, it was not putting it down to the tires and the RPMs are so high going through all the gears and I wasn't really going. We went and dropped it off to the customer last night who was so fucking stoked. And we recorded a couple of clips. I mean, it was like literally 10 degrees, so it was really cold. I only got to ride it so much and it was really windy, but this is how the bike sounds. Now that being said, enjoy this montage of the Banshee in the showroom. If you made it this far in the video, if you want something like this done, please don't hesitate to reach out. The easiest way to get in contact with us is on Instagram, so check us out at Banshee Garage. As always, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you want to see next. Some pretty cool restorations coming up, some of them which will be for sale, so if you're interested in a full restoration build, already done, doesn't need anything, just a new home, the easiest way to get in contact is through the Banshee Garage Instagram. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, leave a comment down below, and drop a like on this video. Until next time, peace.
Everybody wanna blow a damn sure hope to. Cash cars, liquor, weed, plenty of soul food. The game got no rules. Watch who you showing the code to. Flying now, watch who you showing the globe to. You might be slipping now, but you'll remember I told you. When he say the world is his like Tony did, or Nino did, or get real sticky like Nicky did in Casino Kid. Yeah. Got to pop him like a little kid. Do the time standing on your head like a little bitch. Shit, is it cool to be rowdy then? Long money, no state time, just the county pen. Nigga, you can't get no dumber. Fuck around and get hit with some football numbers. Giants versus the Broncos, but we got the game called, running from the narcos. Soul look black, but my eyes got the sparkle. Hunger add fuel to the fire like charcoal. Why you think I'm hard though?